Good morning and welcome to Farm Factor. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom. On today's show, Kyle Bauer visits with Don Bloss with National Sorghum Producers. Then enjoy this week's Kansas Soybean update. Next, he catches up with Wesley Spurlock with the National Corn Growers Association. Then it's the Kansas Farm Bureau update, and we'll end with Plain Talk featuring Kyle and Duane Toews. Stay tuned.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Grain Sorghum. Growers working together. Find out more at kansasgrainsorghum.org.
Welcome to Farm Factor. Up first, Kyle and Don Bloss, chairman of the National Sorghum Producers, discuss projections for the 2017 sorghum crop.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer. I have Don Bloss with the National Sorghum Producers. Don, sorghum in Kansas is a big deal. Not a lot around the nation, but out on the plains it's a huge deal. But we always have to get it sold, and there's good news when it comes to that.
Yes, we've had a very good year this past year. 55% of our sorghum that we raised last year went to foreign countries, China being our largest customer, of course. And looking into 2017, we're ahead of projections. We sold, so far this year, for the 2017, we've sold 71 million bushel. 1 week of that was about 16 million bushel, and 1 week was 13 million bushel. So we've had some very good sales.
And where is that going around the world? I mean, China a few years ago was a huge buyer. Africa, I know, but where's the hot market right now on exports?
Well, China, of course, still is a hot market. They bought 55% of our sorghum that was produced last year, or that was sold last year. Mexico comes in second. Then we have Japan. We've expanded our markets. We've been pretty fortunate on that. We used to sell to about 6 nations over, and right now we're up to 11 nations, which is double the number of countries, and we're feeling good about that. We continue to expand the number of countries, and our foreign business has just been great.
When foreign countries are looking at sorghum, what attracts them to that grain?
Well, it's a good grain for feed. It's non-GMO, and that's a big ticket item for several countries. But the production that we've had has been very good production. It's a good, stable grain. By the time it gets there, it's in good shape. You know, we've done an excellent job of handling the grain, harvesting and handling the grain, and they're impressed with it, and we aren't going to argue with them.
In the United States, it would mainly be used as a feed grain or for ethanol. What about the importing countries?
I think most of that probably goes for grain, for feed. China especially, I'm sure about all of it is going to go for grain or for feed.
When you're talking about 1 million bushel, you're talking about more or less 3-unit trains. So when you're talking about 17 million bushel, I believe you said in 1 week, or 16 million bushel, it's a lot of unit trains.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so far we've had transportation that's available, and we're able to make the connections and stuff. So it's not a big ticket item as far as getting it to the places where it needs to go.
We're visiting with Don Bloss, and he is with the National Sorghum Producers. This is Kyle Bauer reporting.
Folks, come back after these messages for this week's Kansas Soybean update.
Watch Ag AM in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways, of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego is driven by the spirit of American ingenuity. Come in for a new Chevrolet car, truck, or SUV. If we don't have exactly what you want, we'll find it for you. And we also have a great selection of used cars. We make sure you have an easy, fun, and transparent sales experience that saves you time and money. But if you want high-pressure salesmen and hours spent in the finance office, you'll just have to go elsewhere. Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're making car buying great again.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and the Kansas Soybean Update.
This is the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Cindy Falk, nutrition educator with Kansas Wheat, joins us. And Cindy, you also serve as the coordinator for the National Festival of Breads that's coming up later this month in Manhattan.
Kansas is hosting for the 5th time the only amateur bread baking competition in the U.S. And we host this every other year, so this is the year to attend. And it will be held on Saturday, June 17th in Manhattan at the Hilton Garden Inn. So we're getting geared up for that, and we hope everyone will come to that.
Is there a cost to attend the event?
No, the event is free. We do ask for a canned item for a donation that will be given to the Manhattan Flint Hills Bread Basket.
Cindy, the Kansas Soybean Commission, they continued their involvement in the event, and they sponsor 2 of the competition categories.
Yes, that's right. We appreciate the Kansas Soybean Commission sponsoring several awards, and we had over 300 recipes entered, and many of the bakers used a soy ingredient in their winning recipe, like soy oil, soy flour, soy milk, and soy butter. But we're really pleased that the youth champion and the special award winner using soy ingredients is a student from Madison, Kansas, Michael Favor. He used soy milk in his original French vanilla donut recipe. And the soy milk makes the baked donut healthy, moist, and so light, and they're absolutely delicious. And then also we had another youth runner-up winner, and she made cinnamon soy monkey muffins. And this young lady is from New Jersey. And then, of course, we have an adult division, and the Soy Commission Award will be given to Lauren Katz from Virginia, and she made a soy nut butter and jam Saboral bun, which is gorgeous. So those are just 3 of the winners using a soy ingredient.
And if people want to know more about the great event taking place, is there a website they can go to as well?
Oh, sure. I want them to visit nationalfestivalofbreads.com, and they can check out the schedule of events and all the up-to-date information.
Cindy, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. We hope to see everyone at our festival on June 17th.
Cindy Falk, nutrition educator with Kansas Wheat and serving as coordinator of the National Festival of Breads contest, has been our guest on the Kansas Soybean Update. It's brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Learn more at kansassoybeans.org. For Kansas Soybeans, I'm Greg Akagi.
Hope you enjoyed this week's Kansas Soybean Update. Stay with us after the break for more Farm Factor as Kyle visits with Wesley Spurlock.
I will take action against herbicide-resistant weeds. I will know my weeds, and I will stop them before they go to seed. I will do whatever it takes to give my crops the upper hand, and I will use multiple herbicide sites of action because every action counts. I will take action, this time for all time.
Tarwater Farm and Home has been family owned and operated since its beginning in 1978. What you need for farm and agriculture, lawn and garden, clothing and footwear, and so much more. You'll be surprised at what you'll find in this huge store. They have what you need and lots of it. So come take a look. You'll discover that customer service is first and foremost. Always has been with the Tarwaters. Tarwater Farm and Home, 4107 North Topeka Boulevard.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Don Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We're having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
This segment brought to you by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
We're back. Now Kyle and Wesley Spurlock talk about the two top uses for U.S. corn and the importance of international trade to corn producers.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer visiting with Wesley Spurlock. He's with the National Corn Growers Association. You know, Wesley, in our lifetime, the yields on corn have grown tremendously, and that means we have to find a market for that corn year after year, and that is one of the major things that the National Corn Growers works on.
I was going to say, we are always looking, but we've reiterated our stance on as these crops continue to grow and we look at what's going on. This new technology has made it to where we raise more bushels per acre. We're doing it with less fertilizer, less water, less herbicides, pesticides. The new technologies are really environmentally friendly and they're working well, and we're also just producing these huge crops. So at National Corn Growers, our emphasis is on demand. And when we talk about it, we say demand, demand, and more demand. And what we're looking at is that the livestock industry is awfully important. And livestock eats a third of our grain. It eats the DDGs that are coming out of the ethanol industry, which is our second major user of our corn crop, and then the exports. But you look at all of these and it goes back to trade, how effective and how good trade is for American agriculture and for the U.S. as a whole. This trade deals that we have in the works right now, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, is a very important piece of, it'll be legislation, but it's a very important trade pact that needs to be looked at closely. It needs to be brought forward and approved because it will help our nation's economy as a whole.
Well, truly, and when we talk about trade, it's not just helping the farmers. We help everything when we export. I mean, a lot of employment and keeps the balance of trade. So when we sell to other countries, we can bring other goods in that consumers want in this country.
I was going to say that's exactly right, because all of our electronics are coming in basically from overseas. The majority of our cotton crops are being shipped out. So our shirts and our clothes are all coming back in from overseas. So as we export, we offset these trade balances. And that is really important for the economy to keep our economy strong and growing and moving into the future.
You know, a few years ago, we had kind of the perfect storm with demand where we had a shortage of crop and we had ethanol ramping up, and there was a big debate on food versus fuel, but that debate is gone.
I was going to say the debate came, and you were looking at it when we had this, when the corn jumped to $7, $8 for just a very few months before it dropped back into the $5 range, and now we're in the low threes. Some producers are only getting $2.70, 80 cents this year for their corn, well below the cost of production. But it is really important to have the trade to work it. The majority of our corn is used, as we say, it's in feed for livestock. It's the exports, the ethanol. Only 2% of our crop is actually what you will go buy in a grocery store that is food. So that 2% is important, it's great quality, and we continue to grow that and use it. But we have got plenty of corn, and right now we're looking at deficit, or we're looking at carryovers in the $2 billion plus range.
We're visiting with Wesley Spurlock. He's with the National Corn Growers Association. This is Kyle Bauer reporting. Back to you, Jamie.
Thanks, Kyle. Come back after the break for the Kansas Farm Bureau update.
This is Eric Stonestreet, and as many of you know, I love my home state of Kansas. In March, Kansas ranchers lost homes, equipment, and thousands of cattle from the largest wildfires in the state's history. Imagine losing all you have in a fire. Not just your house, but your livelihood. Ranchers are beginning to rebuild, but it will take years and tens of millions of dollars to build back herds, fences, and other infrastructure. Today, I'm asking you to help. Donate what you can and show your support to the ranchers of Kansas. Simply go to kansasfires.com. Your donation is tax deductible and will go to those who need it the most.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, Sure Crop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. Sure Crop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose Sure Crop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Welcome back to Farm Factor and this week's Kansas Farm Bureau update.
American Farm Bureau Federation President Zippy Duvall says the president's proposed budget that included billions of dollars of cuts to agriculture programs sent shockwaves across rural America. However, Duvall notes that Congress will now get to work on amending and adjusting those figures sent by the president.
We know that the budget that comes from the president is kind of suggested areas of where they're interested in looking at making cuts, and we have full confidence in Senator Roberts and Congressman Conaway leading their ag committees and doing the right thing to make sure that rural America and our farmers and ranchers have that good safety net.
The budget proposal would cut $29 billion from crop insurance. As agriculture is struggling with lower farm income and low commodity prices, Duvall says Senator Pat Roberts and Representative Mike Conaway will work to protect the farm safety net.
The two chairmen said that they're going to do what's needed to protect the safety net for farmers and ranchers, and moving forward in this very difficult economy that we got, this is no time for us to talk about those severe cuts in our safety net.
Duvall says AFBF is appreciative of the president's attempt to reduce the federal deficit, but says farmers and ranchers have already done their part.
We salute him for trying to take care of the deficit, but if you look at the 2014 Farm Bill, we took a $23 billion cut. If you look at all the other segments of our federal government, no one has taken the responsibility of trying to help with the deficit more than farmers and ranchers across this country. We think we've already done our part, and we're looking for the other areas of the federal government to step up and do the same thing that we have already done in the past.
Michael Clements, Washington.
Stay with us. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors with Plain Talk.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
No matter where, no matter why, The Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
I was in an accident where I fell off a roof. I don't know why I started to research stem cells, but I did. And I visited with the doctors. They were excellent. I had my neck done, my shoulders done, section of my back, my hips, my sacrum, my sciatica, and my tailbone. Now I am having better range of motion in my arms and my neck and my back. It was a long road to get there, but I'm so glad that I found them.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Welcome back. Now let's see what Kyle and Duane are up to today on Plain Talk.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer with Plain Talk with Duane Toews.
Kyle Bauer, your fact or fiction question of the day. President Theodore Teddy Roosevelt was the first U.S. president to travel on official business outside America during his term in office. Fact or fiction?
Well, it was before air travel on official business, so it would have to be, well, now let me see. You could go to Canada pretty easy.
Well, that wouldn't be hard.
First U.S. president.
Teddy Roosevelt.
You know what? I'm going to go with true.
It is true. Roosevelt's historic first trip abroad by a U.S. president was to Panama to inspect the construction of the Panama Canal.
There you go.
I think I remember him being a part of that whole...
Gosh, you must have been very young during that time.
Yeah. Maybe I read about it.
Read about it in a book.
I read about it. I don't read a lot, but
Yeah.
I think I read
It was
that.
covered extensively in those days on the internet.
Yeah. Yes. And you got to look out.
Okay, the jobs in which workers are most likely to be immigrants.
Immigrants?
Yeah.
Construction?
Okay, construction is... Oh, boy. You know, it'd be nicer if you guess these in the right order.
In order?
Well, construction is... Well, we'll go with third.
Okay.
Actually, they say plasterers and stucco masons is third. 59%. 59% of the people who are masons are immigrants.
That's surprising.
That's a lot.
A little bit surprising. So do they have concrete workers split out from that then?
They do not show that.
Road and bridge?
They do not show that either.
Really?
Those are not in the top 10, I guess.
Huh. Obviously,
out in our part of the world must be a little different than the rest of the world.
Evidently.
Yeah.
So, what do you refer to as like the hotel service
the people
industry?
that are maids and housekeeping cleaners.
Yeah, those.
How about that? 50%.
So that puts them at number 2.
No, that puts them at number 6.
Number 6?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of them above that. The first one of them you'll never get.
Taxi drivers.
Sewing machine operators. Taxi drivers are actually number 9
on the list.
Yeah, they're number 9. 47% of taxi drivers are immigrants. Now, it doesn't mean they're illegal.
Right, they're just immigrants.
They're just immigrants.
Yeah.
Right.
Fruit pickers? Are they on?
Fruit pickers.
Do they have it as listed, broke out that way?
You invite people. How about, graders and sorters of agricultural products?
There you go.
Okay.
Well, they're not really
that's
grading
actually
and sorting.
someone. That's actually
That's
someone
a
who
little higher
normally
up the
works in a
chain.
packing plant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's number 2. Graders and sorters of agricultural products is actually number 2. The number 1...
working in the packing plant.
Well, I think that is working.
That's where they're calling that?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
The number 1 you're not going to get, personal appearance workers.
Personal
I think it's
appearance.
manicurists and that sort of thing. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Don't you think that it's... Now, again, it doesn't
Personal
mean
appearance workers.
63% of those people
have immigrated.
Are immigrants. Right.
Okay.
First generation immigrants. 12% are illegal, and 51% are legal immigrants into this country.
Okay.
So, maids and housekeeping cleaners, we already got that one, right?
Right.
The one that I wouldn't have got, sewing machine operators. 55% of sewing machine operators are immigrants.
We just don't have that many sewing machines here.
Oh, there's only 6 of them, but all of them are, 50% of them are immigrants.
Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Jamie Bloom, and I hope you enjoyed today's show. See you next week on Farm Factor. We're here every Tuesday on Ag AM in Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.